I'm excited to welcome you to another interesting edition of Health Check. This is where we have conversations that help us to prioritize our health. Today's edition is actually a bit more exciting for me because we're having conversations about mental health today. Now, our topic is understanding temperaments and mental well-being. The World Health Organization states that 1 in 8 people globally live with a mental disorder. And the American Psychological Association also says that self-awareness and emotional regulation can improve our mental health outcomes. Today we're talking about temperaments, so understanding all the temperaments we have, and that's why I'm joined in the studio by the one and only Dr. Michaels.
Hi.
So Dr. Michaels is a mental health expert that is specializing in intervention and talking therapy. And together we'll be breaking down a way that would help us live healthier and a more balanced life. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
As everyone told you are looking nice. The outfit is very nice.
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm so happy. And you know what's going on. But yeah, thank you so much, doctor. Okay, so let's just start by talking about the temperaments that we have. Just tell us about the temperaments that we have.
Okay, so maybe I should start by saying temperament is like a classification of human beings.
Okay.
A type of classification where human beings are divided into different personalities. And what is a personality? A personality is what people come in contact with when they meet with you. Okay, so after saying that there are like 4 temperaments, we have the sanguine, we have choleric, we have melancholy, we have phlegmatic.
Okay.
So it's like a spectrum from extreme introvert, that's phlegmatic, to the next one, lesser extreme, or like not really extreme, that's melancholy, then to choleric, then to the highest of them all,
the sanguine.
Sanguine.
So according to what I have here, so sanguines are social, they're lively. Really? Okay, I'm getting there because I wanted to ask if it's possible to have a mix of 2 or more.
Okay, so like everybody has all the 4, but 2 are predominant.
Okay.
So out of the 2 that are predominant, 1 is primary, 1 is secondary.
Okay, so you think my primary is sanguine?
I will go for sanguine.
I don't know yet. Really? Okay. So according to what I have here, sanguines are more social, they're lively, they're impulsive.
I mean, look at the colors. Look at the colors.
And then cholerics, they're bold, they're ambitious, they're dominant.
Yes, you see that your second one. The choleric comes out, but it's not that sharp.
Yeah.
Then melancholy is there too. So
I think I'm more of sanguine and melancholy. I'm a sanguine. I
do
think
you
I'm
sing?
always known. I don't know. Oh, I do karaoke. Does it count?
Do you like mathematics?
Yeah.
Do you like colors? Like
this is me wearing a pop of red and black and white, and everything is coming out nice.
Yeah, I'll go for melancholy. But you see that your choleric would then be the 3rd one because it's there.
Yeah. So cholerics are more, they're bold, they're ambitious, they're dominant, and the melancholic, that's about being thoughtful, sensitive, and being a perfectionist. I'm not very.
Do you have guys as like how many guy friends do you have? Do you
I think I have a number of male friends. I couldn't say, but I have a good number of male friends.
And you are like, you've been chosen to be like to lead in different groups. Wherever you find yourself, you discover that you get chosen to lead a group.
Yeah, sometimes.
I will go for sanguine choleric. Have you ever been calm? You are not calm. No,
I have situations that
I'm taking off the melancholy.
Really? So I was speaking with sanguine and choleric.
I will.
You know, this part of this conversation is actually pretty interesting to me because a lot of people out there are also concerned about which one is their dominant temperament and which one comes directly after. Now, for melancholic, they are thoughtful, sensitive, and they are perfectionists. Now, if the person's temperament is phlegmatic, they are more calm, they're reliable, and they're reserved. So, you know, a lot of people listening are definitely going to be interested in understanding which one comes first for them and how do they even recognize it. Because my next question to you is it possible, okay, I think you've answered that, it's possible to have a mix of 2? Or, okay, according to what you said, everybody has the 4.
Yeah, but 2 are predominant. And out of those 2, 1 is primary, the other one is secondary.
Okay, the primary. Okay. So which one comes in the group of the primary? I think anyone can be primary.
Anyone.
So it's possible for me to meet somebody whose primary temperament is the melancholy.
Yeah.
And then the phlegmatic can also be that. Okay, so let's just move on to talking about how temperaments can shape our thoughts, our emotions, and our interaction with other people. How can people identify their dominant temperament?
By looking at which one are you comfortable with. For example, melancholies are gentle, but they are not quiet. Phlegmatics are quiet, but they are not gentle. Like phlegmatics can build a house, a whole mansion in their minds, and you will not know. They don't like confrontation, and they are the ones that will remind you that 1930 at Awolowo Junction, we're wearing a blue top and a black trouser
at 3:37 p.m.
And this is 2025. Like, they find it difficult coming up. They process things a lot. So you want to know, okay, am I choleric? You're always chosen as a leader. You are bossy. You are domineering. You are blunt. And then you have guys, the opposite gender, as your friends. So, or sanguine, you have problems with you're always having issues with abandoned projects.
Okay.
You want to be a pilot, you want to be a dishwasher, you want to be a broadcaster, you want to, like, they are so versatile, so they have issues with commitment.
But, okay.
Or you are the life of the party.
Okay.
So that's sanguine. So you want to know which one am I so comfortable with?
My next question is, when we talk about these things and how they relate to people, there are people who exhibit a part of, is it possible that someone exhibits just a part of a temperament? Because not everybody who is the life of a party, I would not presume that everybody who is a party would be abandoning projects. So is it possible that if somebody is the life of the party, but they don't abandon projects, then they are still
okay, so we're going to use you. So you are sanguine and you are choleric. I have never really seen you like calm that much. It's just that calmness just comes in a little while and comes back. But the sanguine makes you to be the life of the party. You enter into a place, the place is you lighten up with.
Yeah.
I lie?
I mean, I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. So I'm saying, yeah, I get it.
Then the choleric is they're like very disciplined, they are goal oriented and they get goals done. So you see, so it's like an opposite. Sanguines have issues executing goals. Cholerics have they find it easy. So like so you have those conflicts.
So one can say that having the primary and the secondary can also help you to live a balanced life.
In fact, for you to have a balanced life, you need to know those two and live according to those two. Then as you go into self-development, all of them will now level up.
Okay, now when it comes to you as a professional, how would you say you use the temperament-based approaches when you are doing talking therapy? How does it come in?
Number one, the knowledge of these temperament studies has really helped me to know, like, I can't be on your bad side. Like,
it helps you learn people.
I learn how to relate with people, so I don't have fights with people.
Okay.
And it's very easy for me to relate with people, understand them. Like, I quickly classify your temperament, then the weaknesses, then the strength. So I won't go to the weaknesses, I will just hold on tightly to the strength. So it has really helped me. Then it has also helped me in my sessions. I'm able to know how to communicate. So it helps in communication. It also helps, it has also helped me to know how to be able to link the problems that people are going through, the life challenges that people are going through, and then link it up to what is the state of their mental health, what is currently happening to them, and then what they should do. Because within those two predominant temperaments, therein lies what they are supposed to do. For example, you can't, if you are choleric and you don't have male friends, or you keep pushing male friends away, it's like you are pushing your destiny away. Do you get? It's like you are pushing your happiness away. So we keep telling religious people that please calm down.
Okay, I think it's just important to not abuse those relationships when you have them.
Yeah, but you need to have them. Like, you must have them.
What if I don't have them? What if I don't have them?
Because your happiness lies and is attached to it.
Wow, God, I beg. I have to talk to my pastor. Okay, let's talk about the fact that temperaments exist in every one of us.
Yeah.
But do you think that they can change over time, or is it usually fixed from when you're given birth to?
Yeah.
If you have one temperament, do you think?
No,
because
you have two.
So is it fixed?
Yeah.
So you mean? Yeah. Because I was thinking that some persons that when they were growing up and then their parents attended their school PTA or open day, and they told them that she has a lot of potential but she talks too much, and they've had to suppress that side of them.
They have just suppressed our happiness, our health,
so are you saying that all of these things will still find a way to come up? Maybe when the person grows older?
Like maybe from therapy, because if the person has been told to suppress, then the person will obviously have issues in life that can be tied to that suppression. So therapy will now help to.
So was that temperaments they are fixed.
They are fixed.
So if not even the secondary can change. So tomorrow night I cannot wake up and be melancholic.
No. So the first two temperaments will be so prominent. Well, the issue that people might have is they might now develop secondary at the expense of the primary.
Okay, can we establish
like you now? You are sanguine choleric.
Okay.
You are sanguine choleric.
Okay.
Like I'm so sure of it.
Okay, let's just move on. Okay, so how can one be at the expense
if
of
you
the
now
other?
develop the choleric at the expense of your sanguine, then you won't feel happy completely. You will feel disturbed. But you now discover that when you develop your sanguine and then you also develop both. So what we are saying is the whole essence of self-development is to be able to first of all balance the two.
Okay. Now, before we move to ways we can balance these things, let's talk about our external factors, like I just touched on, the upbringing, the stress, the influence we grew up with, and the ones we have around. How can these factors help us to, influence our temperaments?
Yeah, the stress, parenting, or the upbringing, might bring about the imbalance.
How so?
Because the parent might just be interested in the choleric part of the child and not the sanguine part. Okay. And so they encourage the choleric more and then the sanguine. Or they encourage the sanguine. One way they will encourage the sanguine for you is that they try to shut you up and say you talk too much. Not knowing that you're a broadcaster.
I mean, I'm not the one being
we have to use you, so it will make
a
it
connection.
It will make it to be more relatable.
Okay, you know what? How about we don't use me? Let me just come up with a temperament. So how about if someone is phlegmatic and their secondary is choleric? Okay, so how would that person?
But the person won't be here, and it's very difficult.
It's supposed to be difficult because my own is that I'm sanguine now. I might not be sanguine.
Or more you are sanguine.
No, it's okay. Let's just okay. So how can
I can bet my name.
So how can I can external. We've talked about the external factors. So let's talk about practical ways to balance these things, because a lot of people first are not aware of what their temperaments are. Some persons don't even know. They don't know how to balance both. Now, sanguine and choleric, they're like two opposite sides.
Yeah.
Yes, they're opposite. Yeah. Because the choleric, you have pointed out, wants to be dominant, keeps a number of male friends. A sanguine, on the other hand, might just be somebody who wants to just have fun and not want to do stuff like that. So how can both coexist without one affecting one?
So I'm happy that we are using you. Sanguine has the highest sexual urge.
No. No. Oh my God.
Followed by choleric.
If I knew that. Followed by choleric.
So it's like you have the highest sexual urge, and then you now have the second highest sexual urge.
No, that's a no for me. But how about phlegmatic? I think
phlegmatic is like the extreme. They see sex as like something very dirty. Okay. And then they are extremely quiet.
So are you saying that sanguines are very wild?
Yes, they are.
No, I don't think so. Maybe I'm in the second class sanguine, and then maybe because the thing about it is that.
Are you saying you are not wild?
No, I don't think I'm wild. I mean, this is past 3. So this is past 3 p.m. We're just trying to understand. It's past 3 to understand how we can balance, because I'm just finding I'm looking to find a way this can be very practical, and how we can manage our day-to-day activities, having understood what exactly our temperaments are. So I want to talk about the roles parents can play in helping a child manage their temperament once they get to realize what that child temperament is. I'm also going to ask about how external factors like having friends, how one can balance, because I'm interested in also understanding people who can work together or collaborate. So do you think that I'm sanguine, I can't work with someone whose primary temperament is choleric? Or I cannot marry somebody who's, I'm looking at lifestyle choices, You want
me to answer that?
Yes, please.
So first of all, when you meet somebody who has one of the two, there's this connection that you have. And you can misinterpret the connection to be chemistry. Relationship chemistry or sexual chemistry.
Wow,
not like you mistake. So
you know what? Let's not talk like it's me. There's a listener right now. Whose temperament is sanguine.
Then you find it easy. You find it easy working with the person.
Yeah.
You find it easy working with the person. Male flag.
Male flag.
Melancholy, phlegmatic.
Okay.
Should we use her?
Yes, please. So I mean, there's somebody listening to us right now.
Male flag is extreme.
Okay, so let's talk about how
this person is like super introvert. And like a super introvert. Like you would never know what is going on in their mind unless they tell you.
Wow.
And then so we might just list the strengths, and then so for you to know which one you have, you need to list the strengths of melancholy, the weaknesses of melancholy, the strengths of phlegmatic, the weaknesses. Should I list them?
Yes, let's quickly talk about
so that. Phlegmatics, they see sex as like extreme. They can do without sex for years. They can survive without it, unlike
unlike people who are sanguine and
I was pointing at you, but then I remember that you said I shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so strengths. Melancholies are powerful listeners.
Okay.
Number 2 is they're powerful listeners majorly. That's a major strength that they have. A major weakness they have is they are very fearful. They fear success the same way they fear failure. So, and then they don't like confrontation. They don't like to confront people. So they process things. If you offend them, they process it for a long time before coming to tell you. Unlike cholerics that will tell you immediately. Sorry for pointing at you. Then melancholy, they are phlegmatics are quiet, but they are not gentle.
So they are reserved.
They are very, very extremely reserved. Then they like spiritual things. I'm talking about phlegmatics. They are the first people to go to church, to get to church or mosque or traditional worship, and are the last to leave. They like spiritual things. They hardly talk make a whole paragraph without mentioning God. They are very, very religious. Okay, let's move. So their melancholies are they like mathematics. They are very creative. They are very creative. They like music. They like color combinations and the rest like that. I'm phlegmatic. Say color. Melancholy. I'm talking about melancholy. Melancholic too. I'm melancholic too. But the weakness of melancholy is that they are very emotional, so they get moody easily. And they are gentle, but they are not quiet. I'm like that. I don't know why it's hard to see that side of me. Why is it hard? Because I'm not. Do you sing actively? No, I do not sing. Okay, no problem. Now let's talk about the weaknesses of sanguines. I mean, we've established that they're left of the party. Okay, I think the weaknesses would be that they can abandon projects. Yes. So do you have abandoned projects? Do you have difficulty with projects? Not really. Except I'm trying to take on something entirely new. And it feels like this uncharted waters might not just be for me. So yeah, I think. So is that we go for sanguine, choleric, or we go for melancholy? Yeah. Sanguine. Or choleric, melancholy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we might go for that. The SEX or tongue drops more. So at least so that anyone listening right now who is sanguine will not be worried that is that all you think about? It's just that. Now let's establish how then can they work together? So if I am choleric, how can I work together with somebody who's melancholic? Because I think for melancholic they can be a little laid back. Yeah. When it comes to doing things, going about their goals, achieving stuff, taking on responsibilities, they can be a little laid back. So how can they work together then? Do you think that there are some temperaments that should get married? When they talk about people who have similar qualities and stuff. So let's talk about how possible. So now we are back to you being melancholy, choleric. Yeah. Okay, so if you meet, or let's use her, phlegmale, whenever she sees someone that has phleg as part of the two predominant temperaments, there will be this connection, and then it becomes very easy to work with that person. So phleg more than other together. Or then she also has melancholy. Whenever she sees somebody who is melancholic, then she will find it easier working with that person more than any other person. So sanguine can also work together. Yes. So whenever, and then there's also this attraction. Whenever you meet someone that has one of your two predominant temperaments, there's an attraction. Okay. And so you will discover that people who get married, they have one temperament in common.
Okay, so it's important to look out for that as well.
Yeah.
So that when we're making choices that have to do with our relationships,
Yeah.
we can also consider that.
Yeah.
Okay. What about friendships as well? Do you think
The same thing goes.
Okay, so there has to be one that connects people to each other. Now, how about we talk about how these people now interact with the world? Because it's a different thing if you're choosing partners and friends. Now you're choosing where to work. You're on a job. You and your boss probably have different temperaments.
Yeah.
Or you are walking on the road, you're on a bus.
Yeah.
You and the person sitting next to you have different temperaments. You're in church. People you're working with have different temperaments. So how do you, regardless of your temperament, deal with people?
Very good. That's very intelligent. Like, you need to know the strengths of each of the temperaments.
Okay.
And then play to the side of the strengths, not the weaknesses.
Okay.
For example, sanguines, they like they are very, very social.
Okay.
So sanguines are very versatile. So, and then they are also people persons. So you want to play on that side. Oh, Oga, you've been relating well with a lot of people. You do well relating to Oga will start blushing.
Yeah.
That's one strength. Then cholerics are go-getters. Oga, wow, you set out goals yesterday, and the goals you brought out yesterday, you've been able to execute them today. That's very fantastic. Okay. He hears that, say, oh,
thank you.
He opens up the door to you. Then melancholy. You are so creative. You are so intelligent. I love the way you sing. I love the way your color combination is so fantastic. So the person opens up to you. And then phlegmatic. You're a powerful listener. You've not said one word in the last 1 hour. So you playing to the strength is a smart move. It helps you to work well with anybody.
Yeah, and I think I would also say that acknowledging that people are different. You know, when it comes to mental health, acknowledging individual differences for me is like a major thing that we need to bear in mind, so that we don't, number one, get on people's wrong side, and we don't also make the mistake of assuming that everybody is the same.
No, we are not the same.
Okay.
And then you also there's this something I remember now about. So we ask people to develop their strengths and not to like try to get rid of their weaknesses.
Okay.
So instead of you wasting time to get rid of your weaknesses, spend more time developing your strength. So your strength will keep on increasing and your weaknesses will keep on going down.
Reducing. Well, that's a very powerful one. Thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, I think the next thing that I want to actually touch on would be the question around love languages and temperaments. Do you think that a person's love language is maybe influenced by what their temperament is? Or do you think that all of these things are just different things that make up a human being?
Yeah, I would say love language is another classification of people's personality.
Okay.
Because you can, there's no correlation, but except that majorly sanguines they will be materialistic. Because
I'm no longer on that list. Right.
Because they like flamboyant things. So they might
obsessed with luxury.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unlike phlegmatics and melancholy, they are introverts. They may not
necessarily.
But the link between love languages and and temperaments is not that strong.
Okay.
So you don't want to you want to separate them and see them as personality classifications for different kind of people.
Okay, so should a person be justified for something wrong they have said or done based on their temperament? Because there are people who say things and expect to get away with it and say that, oh, don't you know, I'm choleric. They say that's how we are always doing.
Okay, like being blunt is a weakness of choleric.
Okay.
People that are choleric. So you should not get away with being blunt. You should be able to mix compassion, empathy with being blunt. Okay. So you can't just say I'm blunt. What about the compassion? What about the empathy part? So if you mix empathy and compassion with being blunt, then it helps you to deliver well. If you are phlegmatic, you don't like confrontation. So what you want to do is you want to develop the other temperament, the other secondary temperament.
That can help you.
It helps. So what will happen is as you develop the two, the strength of one will cover up for the weakness of the other. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you are phlegmatic, your secondary temperament in one way or the other help you to shorten the time that you process the offense.
Okay.
And then helps you to come out very early to let the person know what he or she has done to hurt you.
Because it's also bringing to mind the fact that if you're sanguine as well and you're working with a choleric, someone whose primary temperament is choleric, and the person is like your leader, you have to work on the project. You cannot say because your temperament does not usually abandons project, you now leave the work undone, because of that. So there's a need for us to also extend a level of maybe compassion or understanding to other people, so that we're able to work together regardless of what our temperaments are.
The worst is phlegmatic in terms of people see them as being laid back, but they are not laid back. They just take time to process it.
What about if you find yourself in a place where you have to?
So if you work with a phlegmatic, if you work with a phlegmatic, try to tell them a lot of things like a day before.
Okay, so do more of setting reminders.
So you need to know the temperament of your subordinates.
Okay.
Your team members. So you tell them ahead. So phlegmatic, they will process it overnight, and then that will help them to be able to know ahead of time what they are supposed to do, and then tomorrow they are up firing.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Michaels. Now, as we wrap up the show, can you just tell us practical ways to identify how do you think I can get to know? Because there's some people that right now they don't know, or what they think they know is the wrong thing. So are there practical ways? And then if there's anything else you want people to know about temperaments and how we can help us live a very balanced life, please, here's the time you do.
Okay, so what we can do is have a major strength and a major weakness of each temperament.
Okay.
A giveaway, like for example, sanguines are very versatile. If you can fix the bulb, you can do many things. That gives you away as sanguine.
Okay.
Or you are the life of the party. That gives you away. And then the weakness is that you have issues getting projects or goals done. So that's a giveaway. Then cholerics are natural leaders, natural born leaders. You are always choosing to be the class captain. You've been a class captain of your class from like nursery school.
Right.
That's a giveaway. Then the weakness is that you are blunt, you are domineering, you always want to be in charge and control people. They are control freaks. So that's a giveaway. Then for melancholies, the strength is that they are very creative. They like, so we can say that you are melancholy, like very creative, color combination, fantastic music, anything. Then they're the ones that will they're the ones that will call you to come and check the color of the sky, the formation of the sky, and the rest like that. Okay, so you are the one. Then the weakness is they get moody easily. So if you get moody easily, that's a giveaway. Then finally is phlegmatics. One major strength of phlegmatic is they are powerful listeners. They can listen to you for hours without saying one word.
Wow.
And then the weakness is they fear anything: success, failure, death, and life.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. And I think at this point we should know that our mental health affects the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we behave. And while some of us struggle with our emotions because we don't understand our temperament, I'm hoping that the conversation we've had today will help you to understand what your temperament is and help you to, live accordingly and understand that you're not the only one in the world. So while you're also understanding your own, you also understand that people are different and you just want to work according to the other person's temperament as well. Now think about what temperament describes you best, and think about how you can, with the understanding of these particular temperaments, also understand people around you, the world you live in, and how you would even live your life as a whole. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
The show has to go now, but we're back here next week Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Please do not miss it. This is HealthCheck on Splash 105.5 FM. My producer is Shenwa Kiola, and the sound manager is Victor Daudu. I am Tumi. I'll see you next week Sunday. Enjoy the rest of today, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.